Testing, testing, 1, 2, here we are. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 2 of the podcast. No idea what I'm going to call it. If you have any name suggestions, let me know down in the comments. But we're back again doing another episode because the last episode was so much fun to film and to make. I uploaded it on the 18th of March. I'm recording this on the 19th of March in the evening, and it will probably go up on the 20th of March. I think I'm going to try and do 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5, maybe even more of these a week. This one is probably going to be a long one. Now, I basically went onto my social medias, and before I go any further, please do drop a like and drop a comment down below. Anything you want me to talk about in future episodes, any advice. I'm always looking at comments, particularly of podcast episodes, before I record the next one to see if it can inspire and encourage me to do a particular topic in my next one, which is essentially what I've done today. So big shout out to all of you for the support on the previous video, all of the comments, all the love. I see all the comments and everything like that, so feel free to drop them down below and edit it as you go along through the podcast. Go get on with your day, do something else, or if you want to watch me, then by all means you can do that as well. But basically for this one, I initially put out on social media asking for questions, topics, and all that stuff that you guys wanted me to talk about, and a lot of comments were about, but there are a few subjects that kept coming up. There was fitness, which I'm not going to cover too much today. I might do a dedicated podcast on that. There was a lot of Rocket League, because my main channel is a Rocket League channel, and I didn't specify that I was going to talk about non-Rocket League things, because I'm not going to talk about Rocket League on this podcast, and also YouTube in general. And I thought, you know what I would do? I would create a massive place for my YouTube story to reside. Anything and everything about my YouTube story. Now, I just want to say that I've had about 40 YouTube channels in the past since when I started in 2011. And I'm not going to discuss each and every single one today in this video, because a lot of them I only posted a handful of videos on, 5 videos, 10 videos here and there, and it's not really relevant to my overall YouTube journey. So just understand, although I'm probably going to mention maybe 10 or so YouTube channels here, that is the main bulk of channels, but there were tons and tons and tons of other channels that haven't even been mentioned for this podcast. I got around a little bit, but basically it actually started. So please, by all means, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because there's going to be something, I guarantee. I don't think there's anyone else in the world that would know 100% of the information and stories that I'm going to be sharing in this podcast today. Like my family, I think they might remember the majority of what I'm going to say once I mention it, but there's going to be some stuff that they wouldn't know, and there's going to be obviously stuff that a lot of you guys know. Even if you've been here and you've known of me for over 5 years, there will be stuff in this video that you aren't aware of. So I think that's going to be very, very exciting, and I have no idea how long this podcast is going to be. The last one was about 15 minutes. This one's definitely going to be longer than that. But today, I'm going to be going through my YouTube story. And essentially, if you guys think, why should I care about this guy's YouTube story? Basically, what started out as obviously a hobby, like for most people, quickly became an obsession of mine, became a dream of mine, and for the last 3 years has been a full-time job of mine. So I've gone from a little 12-year-old kid back in 2010, 2011, basically just getting into YouTube, to a 21, nearly 22-year-old man doing it as a career. So that is why you might be interested as to, what I did to get to where I am today. So kicking it off, it was 2010. I think it was November specifically. I was in a dance rehearsal for a show that I was in, a pantomime coming up the next month, and someone there kept singing this song, and he kept going, "A duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man, run in the stand," and he was singing the duck song. Okay, so that was the first YouTube video I ever saw, because I asked him what it was. If I'm going to get him to stop singing it, I'm going to make him talk about it. It's the lesser of two evils at this point, so I'm going to ask him what it was, and he said that it was, in fact, the duck song. So I thought, right, let's go home, check it out. I type in the duck song, and it was uploaded onto YouTube. So I clicked on it, and that was the first ever YouTube video that I watched. I watched all kinds of stuff. Back then, you got into the Annoying Orange. That was huge. I don't know if the Annoying Orange was ever at one point the most subscribed channel on YouTube, but it was very, very close. Ray William Johnson, another huge channel. He definitely was the most subscribed YouTube channel for a very, very long time. And basically, from that pantomime, I had a camera with me one time. after one of the shows, and we were in the dressing room just messing about, and I got out my camera and filmed one of my castmates, and it was an 8-second, I think, 7 or 8 second video, and it was basically him sucking in his gut and saying the words, and I quote, McDonald's, which is kind of funny that the first word on my YouTube channel ever was McDonald's, because I later worked at McDonald's, but we'll get into that. McDonald's does you good. He was sucking in his gut at this point, and then he just puffed it out and gave himself a really bloated, big belly. And that was the entire video. That was the first video. So, you know, not the best content at all. But then a big passion of mine at the time was magic tricks, specifically card tricks. I'm still a bit of a card shark now, quite handy with a pack of cards. I know my way around a pack of cards, all that stuff. And I would basically make videos from, you know, I never showed my face for the beginning, but from about here down, I made videos of me playing with cards and showing you card tricks, whether it's a tutorial for a card trick or actually just performing a card trick. And that was fun, yeah, that was enjoyable. The Mutt321 was the name of my first channel, by the way. Not sure if I mentioned that, but I uploaded the first video on, I believe, the 8th of January 2011, the McDonald's one, but I created that channel on the 4th of January 2011. So I'm gonna have a sip of water before we get into this, because it's getting hot in here. You can see my face is getting a little bit flushed because of the light. So I need to take a chill pill, relax, podcast mode, not video mode. I need to remember that, you know, we can afford to take a chill pill. So the Mutt321 was a channel that I uploaded on whenever I fancied it. I actually did make some films, some short films with my brother and some of our friends. Oh, I wish I still had access to the footage of that. We did have all of the episodes burned onto multiple different DVDs and discs, and certainly the copies we have don't work anymore. So I don't know if there's any way for me to get those, but it is what it is. Also in 2011, that was when I made my main magic channel, Mr. Magic 923. And, you know, I did a lot more magic. That was an entirely magic-based channel. I also started a project with my friend Joe, who was the British historian on YouTube for multiple years, called Vindigo. There is still a website up online, vindigo.webs.com, where there's videos of he and I from 9 years ago, but they don't play. I go to the website, I can see the title of the video, I want to click on it, I know what videos are there, but I can't access it, I can't watch them, so they lay dormant on the internet. But I did all kinds of projects, and I remember Mr. Magic 923 hit nearly 300 subscribers, and Joe and myself described that as me becoming a big YouTube sensation. Nearly 300 subscribers, so there was that. And then once my love for magic died down just a little bit, because I wasn't getting much better, I wasn't so deep into magic. You see all these magicians and they do absolutely stunning, unbelievable tricks. I never did anything like that. For me, it was all about sleight of hand and just kind of like party tricks and just enjoying it and blowing people's minds in a social setting. I never really had true aspirations or put the work in to be an actual magician, so that kind of died down, and I got really into vlogging at this point. Particularly Charlie Is So Cool Like was a huge inspiration for me back in the day. I think he might have been the first YouTube channel to reach 1 million subscribers, if not the first. He was definitely the first in the UK to reach 1 million subscribers, and that was in something like maybe 2011. I can't even remember when he did that, but he did it really, really early on. He was a big inspiration to me, so I made my vlogging channel called VlogScript1. Where the name came from, I don't know. You'll notice a lot of my early channel names had numbers in because you couldn't name your channel anything. If the name was taken, you weren't allowed to have it, so there was that, VlogScript1. So that was my channel name. I thought, right, let's do it, VlogScript1, and that was actually my first ever channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and on there I just made, you know, vlogs, comedy sketches, videos like Charlie Is So Cool Like. If the channel was still up and public with videos on it, would be a lot easier to remember, but that channel is not on YouTube, and the main reason for that, and the reason there are no public videos up on that channel, is because in the August of 2012, I got bored with that channel. But by this point, so I've only mentioned a few channels, but by this point I'd had well over 10 channels, and I got bored of it, but I was tired of people saying, oh, you've changed again. Classic Matt. I was tired of people getting on my back for changing a YouTube channel, because it's something I wanted to do, and I didn't want to be made to feel bad about it, so what I did, I deleted every single video on that channel and then pretended that someone had hacked it, deleted all of the videos, but not deleted the channel. So I basically faked my own channel's death, if that makes sense. I deleted all the videos, so that way I had a valid excuse to then start a new channel. So I was basically saying to everyone, oh, my channel got hacked. And even like a year or two after that, if someone asked me, I'd say, oh yeah, it got hacked. It didn't get hacked. I deleted my own videos and wanted an excuse to swap channels. And that is, yeah, that is where we have Living Like Matt 1. That was where that was born. And there are still some videos up on that channel on the internet today, but not the main videos that I made. Living Like Matt 1, it was my main channel. I made vlogs. I made all the videos, all the content that I wanted to make. And that was about 6 months of my time. And it was an amazing time. It really, really was. So now we move into February 2013. And that is when I started the channel Far From Film, which is the channel you're watching this video on right now. And that is just absolutely crazy, by the way. Like, this channel was made in 2013, 7 years ago. That's unreal. If you click on this channel, click oldest videos, the first video, the Draw My Life, was 7 years ago, and that is where we currently are. I've skipped over a lot because my main YouTube story kind of takes off a lot later on. I can see my face cam. I'm getting really flushed. I know it's warm. I'm going to take another drink. I'm not sure what it was, but in the first episode, I didn't get flushed at all, so I wasn't worried about getting flushed this time. But something about doing it at night makes it warmer. I don't know. And then when you know you're getting flushed, you're going to get really red. So just ignore the redness, because I'm going to be getting progressively red over the next few minutes. I think if I look at myself and just accept the fact that I'm going red, eventually my body will be like, okay, you're going red, you've accepted it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because that's one of the most annoying things, little side point, is when something like this happens in public. Say something embarrassing happens and I go red in the face, right? I'm embarrassed. And then someone says, oh, look how red you've gone. I'm saying, well, thank you so much for drawing attention to this blatant insecurity that I have. Because that then makes you go even more red. And the second you go more red, there's a reason it's red. It's hot, and you feel the heat in your cheeks, and then it's just a never-ending cycle. You get more embarrassed because you're going red, and then you really have to have something big to take your mind off it, to cool you down. You have to go outside, cool down. But I've got this big light on me, so that probably won't happen for a little while. But now that I've made light of it, I think I'll be able to handle it a little bit better. So, yeah, Far From Film has started. And Living Like Matt 1 became a gaming channel for a little bit. And those videos on Living Like Matt 1 are still on the internet. If you type in Living Like Matt 1, you will see the entirety of the gaming videos that I made on that channel. I think there was maybe some Happy Wheels, a bit of Pokemon, Harry Potter, and just stuff like that on Living Like Matt 1 that you can still go and watch. So now, Far From Film is here. I made, I think, a couple of videos a week, Tuesday and Friday. And I know at some point in my Far From Film career, I did Far From Film Saturday, and that was it. I think that was a little bit later on, though. I think it was a couple of times a week. This was my focus, my main channel, and it was a lot of fun. And again, by this point, I'd already made the majority of my channels that I haven't mentioned. Nothing to Report 101, MDB Tricks, Chatty Collab, Matt Daily Vlogs, and that is a cracking name, by the way, considering, as I said, you couldn't be called something if no one else was called it. So if you go to youtube.com/Matt Daily Vlogs, there will be a channel that's now called Matthew Barrett that comes up. I think there's 2 Asdaf movie clips on there that I uploaded, and that channel is actually taking off a little bit now. There were like a few thousand views in the last couple of days, which is so weird because the channel is really, really old. But Matt Daily Vlogs, what a name that is. There's another channel, All Day Card Tricks, one of my magic tutorials, got over 250,000 views. Many more channels that are kind of irrelevant. So yeah, but anyway, all the videos on Far From Film are still public on this channel here, even though it's called Matt Barrett and it is like my personal channel and now the podcast project. All of the videos that I talk about on Far From Film are public on this channel for the most part that I know of. So if you go and check through, you can look through all the videos and have a look and see me progress as a human being. And basically, in March 2014, I reached 2,000 subscribers for the first time on YouTube. So 2012, I reached 1,000 subscribers on VlogScript 1 for the first time. And then 2014, in March, I reached 2,000 subscribers on YouTube for the first time, which was absolutely just phenomenal. And it was a bit weird because a couple of weeks after I hit 2,000 subscribers, this was when I was uploading on Far From Film Weekly, I decided to stop uploading on Far From Film, and I made a gaming channel called Infobuzz, and that was basically me combining the names of my two favourite Pokemon at the time, Infernape and Electabuzz. Infobuzz combination. Again, another pretty solid channel name. Considering I made like 40 channels, most of the names are pretty darn good in my opinion. And this was always going to be a test channel because it had just become Easter holidays at school, so I had 2 weeks off. And that meant that I didn't have anything to do. Let's be real, you know. I was well ahead of my work. I always have been. I didn't have anything to do, so I thought I'd make daily gaming videos on the Infobuzz channel just as an experiment to see how I'd cope with it and everything like that. And I did it, and it was a ton of fun. And yeah, I tested out gaming videos on Infobuzz for April, then kept doing it in May. And then I kept doing it in June and July and August and all that. And I did them not as often as I did at the beginning because that always tends to happen. But I kept doing them. And then I went to sixth form in September 2014. And that is when I then started uploading again on Far From Film because my enjoyment from Infobuzz was slowly dwindling in that particular moment. In case you haven't seen, a trend on YouTube for me is I do what I enjoy. So if I stop enjoying something, I'm going to stop doing it. So let me just have a little drink before we continue. That's some good, yeah. That's some good H2O. I think I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable now. I'm not used to the whole podcast, you know, setting in the sense that I can't speak like it's a regular video. I can afford to get closer and just speak a little bit quieter. Not as much inflection in my voice because otherwise that strains my throat, and you don't want to have a sore throat at this time because you're going to get self-isolated. But anyway, I started posting. The reason I'm looking here occasionally is because there are notes here. I thought this was such a big journey that I didn't want to go into this without some form of timeline. I wanted it to be somewhat coherent, so that's what we're doing. But anyway, I started posting on Far From Film again once a week initially, and then twice a week. And then in 2014, December, I elected to do Vlogmas, which was my first real big attempt at high quality daily uploads, because that's essentially what I do now as a job, is high quality daily uploads. And 2014 was my first attempt at that, and Vlogmas was 25 videos in 25 days from the 1st of December to Christmas Day. All unique ideas. A lot of people that did Vlogmas back then, Pointless Blog or Alfie Days, Zoella, they vlogged their life because they had an interesting enough life to vlog. I didn't. So I had to come up with 25 different and unique video ideas rather than just vlogging whatever happened to happen on my day. And I went from about the 2,000 subscribers that I had in March to 10,000 subscribers in that month of Vlogmas. It was a fantastic time. I think I hit the 5,000 subscribers just before Vlogmas started, actually, and then 10,000 on Christmas Eve of 2014, and that was just insane. I remember then in January 2015, I released my merchandise, which I think is also still on the internet. I don't know how it would work if you actually ordered one, if you'd even receive it. I don't know how it works, but it's farfromfilm.spreadshirt.co.uk. Even if you're not going to buy anything, don't buy anything, but go over there and check out the designs. I think it might be nostalgic for some of you that are still here, because I know from the comments on the last podcast that a lot of you that commented on it were here from the old Far From Film days, so you might get a little bit of nostalgia out of that. So I'm going to delete all this so I don't keep repeating myself. But anyway, I posted fairly infrequently on Far From Film in 2015. Like, it wasn't every single day. It was once or twice a week. And then in March 2015, I uploaded my final video on Infobuzz. And that was not because I didn't like making gaming videos, but as I initially said, that was going to be my test channel to try out gaming and really hone my craft. And I felt like I'd done that. So I created my new gaming channel called Pixel Riff. And this was to be my main gaming channel. And that is when the name Pixel was first born in 2015. And that is still the name and the alias that I go with today. I say on a daily basis, hello there guys and girls, this is Pixel. And that name was made 5 years ago with the channel Pixel Riff, all of which the videos are up on YouTube today, PIXELRIFF. You can go and watch those. That was essentially, and every single video on that Pixel Riff channel is great. To this day, still great. I got the skills from the Infobuzz channel, took the editing and personality from the Far From Film channel, and created this gaming channel and made those videos, and it was really, really fun. I posted regularly on that channel for a couple of months, and as I said, the videos are still on there. And then the main computer that I recorded on, because back then I had no money, of course, so I had to record on the family computer. I didn't have my own equipment for many, many years. I did save up for a camera for my Far From Film channel that was about £270 I bought it for, but yeah, I didn't have my own computer or gaming equipment or anything like that, and the computer broke, so I had to put that channel on hold, which was not ideal. We'll delete that. Have some more water. Okay, so another thing that a lot of you guys probably don't know is that for the summer of 2015, obviously I couldn't make gaming videos because that computer was fried, so I made a collab channel called Life of 5. I was in previous collab channels, as I said. I mentioned Chatty Collab. That might be, I think Chatty Collab are probably the earliest record of YouTube videos still left on YouTube of myself. There are videos from me in 2012 on that channel, and the only reason the videos are still up there is because myself and everyone else involved in that collab channel has forgotten the login. So those videos will forever be up there and haunt me till the day I die. But I made my own collab channel. This time I was the big boss man. Life of 5. I really like the name. There was a really cool I'm going to say cinematographic, but that's not it. Cinematic trailer for that channel, and the videos, again, they're still there. They're still public. And then after Life of 5, I got back into making Far From Film videos, and Life of 5 ended in, I think, July 2015. It was a summer project. It was always going to be a summer project. Back in the day, people did collab channels that were summer projects. It was, it was a typically American thing that people did. They'd come out of school in like June, and from June to about September they'd do a collab channel where they'd have 5, maybe 7 people upload on their own designated day. So each member only has to make 1 video a week, but the channel itself has a theme each week and 5 to 7 or however many members worth of videos each week. So they were very, very entertaining. That's actually how I found Connor Franta, who is like 5+ million subs now. He had 20,000 subs at the time from Collab at Sea. Casper Lee, he had even less than that. I think I found Casper Lee when he had 3,000 subscribers. And obviously now he has like probably nearly 10 million or something crazy like that. He was on that collab channel. So that was one thing people did back then. But in August 2015, just as I got back from a YouTube gathering called Summer in the City, which I believe still goes on to this day, I was approached by the CBBC to be in an upcoming TV show called Life Babble. And it recently actually came to my attention that the CBBC, obviously they have a great affiliation with schools. Schools trust the content that the CBBC put out. So clips of me from 2015 in the TV show Life Babble, which you can just Google and watch, clips of me are played in classrooms to this day. I got paid a flat fee for recording my segments, but I don't get paid royalties or anything like that, which is kind of like, what are you doing? You're using my face to teach children, and I'm not getting any sort of reward. I mean, it is quite rewarding every single time someone comments on one of my videos and says, I saw you in class today on the big screen. Didn't know you did that. So that's quite nice. But yeah, there was that. In 2015, I kept uploading on Far From Film, really enjoyed it, and I also posted a few reactions at this time. And one thing I did want to mention is that for the longest time, this was my most popular video of all time. It was my reaction to Psy's new music video, Daddy. Obviously, Psy, the main guy, the guy behind Gangnam Style. I did a reaction video to Daddy, and it was featured on Korean News. My reaction video, which is absolutely unreal. It's so crazy, and I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for a Korean viewer sending me the link. I wish I still had the link. Maybe I could find it if I tried, but obviously the title and everything's in Korean, so I can't search for it in the same way that I could for another video. But then it was time for Vlogmas number 2, and I did do it for the second year running, 2015 December 1st to December 25th, a video every single day. I actually did have to cut the video and take a break there because I'm destroying my throat, and I don't want to be doing that. I'm going to go get a throat soother. I think that's what I'm going to do. I will do a couple of cuts in this because I don't need to kill my throat just to keep the vibe going, but I need to dial it down even more. Maybe I need to talk like this. I don't know, but I'll be back. I'm going to put the mic back here and just keep talking. I'll figure this whole podcasting thing out. It's still only the second episode. But anyway, I kept uploading after Vlogmas of 2015 on Far From Film, about 4 videos a week at the start of 2016, and it was a really good amount of content and a really good high quality of content as well. There was a mixture of vlogging and comedy, and then I slowly introduced gaming onto the Far From Film channel. And initially, because obviously once I've got a buzz of making new content, I thought that the gaming fit really well. And then about a month later, I decided that it wasn't for me on the main channel, so I stopped making the gaming videos. But the problem with that was that gaming videos at this point were my passion, and that's what I really enjoyed. So I took a month break from Far From Film. The video is still up today on this channel, and it's just entitled I'm Sorry, because I essentially was saying that I was kind of putting videos on hold in order to get my new project off the ground. And I have a quote from that I'm Sorry video, and it just said that part of me wants to start YouTube again and not have the pressure of having thousands of subscribers, because at the time I had 13,000 subscribers on the Matt Barrett channel, and it was rough because I felt a lot of pressure, which is kind of crazy when you think about it now. I've got nearly 30 times that amount of subscribers, and I don't feel that pressure, but it really is what you're used to, and I wasn't used to the pressure back then. So I stopped that, and that is when I made Pick a Pixel in February 2016. Yeah, 2016. Oh, I forgot for a second. It's 2016, which is unreal. And I basically made daily Minecraft videos. I went from 13,000 subscribers to 0 with those Minecraft videos, and I managed to get back up to 100 subscribers in the first month. But not only that, I was having so much fun. I cannot describe it. So based off of how fun that first month of uploading was without uploading on Far From Film, because I did then make a follow-up video on this channel saying that, you know, I'm in a better place and thank you for all of the support, I made the very brave decision to make that Minecraft channel, the Minecraft channel that had tons of, you know, gaming channels of practice go into it. I haven't mentioned True Turtle, I haven't mentioned BritBoy Gaming, all these other gaming channels that I made. It's crazy saying the names out loud. And I made the Pick a Pixel channel my main focus, and that I'd upload for fun on the Far From Film channel despite having thousands of subscribers. And I think it was April 2016, I did the face reveal on Pick a Pixel, and also around about that time, one of my idols at the time who actually encouraged me and inspired me to start doing Minecraft videos, Stampy Longhead, saw a video that I made for him. I made a sort of a comedy sketch video using clips from his videos and audio to make a well-crafted interview with myself and him. And he saw the video, he commented on it, I made a video reacting to it, which is over on the main channel, and it was just a lot of fun, good time. We'll get into this. So I kept daily uploading on Pick a Pixel. This was throughout my final year of school during my A-levels, and I started doing games other than Minecraft as well, and I got the channel up to 700 subscribers, and then I had to quit YouTube. I didn't post on any channel for at least a couple of weeks. I did post 1 or 2 on Far From Film during that time, after that 1 or 2 couple of weeks, but for a couple of weeks I didn't post any videos on YouTube anywhere, which is so unlike me. Obviously I haven't done it since then, and I probably never will do it again. Quitting YouTube. Why would I do that? Why would I quit something that I enjoyed so much and still enjoyed to this day? And that's because I started my job. Now, obviously, yeah, I love YouTube. It was great, but I just finished school, so I got a job at McDonald's because I was going to go to university. I wanted a gap year to make some money because at this point, I still had no money. I actually owed my friend some money, so £0 in the bank, and I owed someone about £100. So there's that. And yeah, so I had to get a job for that year, and it was going to be in McDonald's. And for about a month, I settled into my job full time. And then I got back into making YouTube videos after that time. Once I'd settled in my job at McDonald's as a crew member, I don't need to go into that. I'll definitely talk about my time at McDonald's on the podcast, don't you worry. But once I'd settled at my job, I started to upload occasionally on the Pick a Pixel channel, because that's where my gaming content went. I started to occasionally upload Rocket League just for fun, because I was really, really enjoying the game at the time, and I had just got myself a PlayStation 4 in the August of 2016. So now I finally had the capacity to make gaming videos, because I wanted to make gaming videos before when I had my PS3, and I bought an Elgato game capture card, but the PS3 was outdated for it, and the Elgato could only record gameplay from next-gen consoles, so like the PS4 and the Xbox One. So that kind of sucks, because I wanted to make gaming videos on the PS3, but I couldn't do it. So I had the Elgato for I think a year or two, just sat there not using it, and then I uploaded Rocket League videos for fun. And then another crazy part of my YouTube journey was on this channel. I uploaded my roast of Daz Black, because he made a video asking viewers to roast him, because someone roasted him to try and be mean, and it was just a terrible diss track. Daz Black reacted to it, and he said, "Am I unroastable? Can no one roast me?" And he challenged his viewers to do it, and I roasted him, and mine was the best one. I'm not going to beat around the bush. He has a lot of young audience members who tried, but I was an adult man who was fairly confident in front of a camera and fairly intelligent, could make some decent lyrics, and I knew Daz Black enough, I'd watched enough of his content to make the diss track hilariously relevant to his channel. I didn't just pick apart his appearance or anything like that. I almost threw in references that only a fan would be able to make, and that therefore made it a better diss track, because it showed him that obviously I was a huge fan, but that I then turned it and did exactly what he wanted for. And my video reacting to him, reacting to me, is still to this day the most popular video on this channel, and the only video on this channel that's even come close to and has passed 100,000 views, which is absolutely, it's insane. So there's that. I think the original diss track on Daz Black has maybe 7,000 or 8,000 views, and then the reaction of me has about 100,000 more views than that, which is funny. But yeah, I kept making the occasional Far From Film video, and more Rocket League videos at this time, because my friend Max was Kazelix on YouTube. He was making a lot of Rocket League videos. I was kind of doing what he was doing, and crates came out in Rocket League. Like I said, I'm not going to talk specifically about Rocket League on this podcast, but it will definitely come up in my YouTube story, because I'm a Rocket League YouTuber at the end of the day. In the same way, I'm not going to talk about Minecraft on this podcast, but I kind of have today. So I uploaded Rocket League videos, crates, gameplay, and then one of my Rocket League videos took off. And this was oh man, a lot of you guys probably know the story. This was, partly luck, in the sense that I was fortunate enough, and I was in the right time, and I was making the right content to be able to make a video that nobody else could make. I essentially won the Rocket League lottery. I got an item in the game, for those of you that don't know, that was the most sought after item in the game. It's pure luck. I think the odds of getting that specific item once you opened a crate were about 1 in 2,600. So not astronomical odds, but still that's fairly unlikely to get it in my first crate of a video. That video blew up, and that made the growth of my channel go up and up and up. I forgot to say, I did actually reach 1,000 subscribers on the Pick a Pixel channel a bit prior to that, in September of 2016. But I quickly hit 2,000 subscribers after that video went viral, and that was just a lot of fun. And then a couple of days after that video had gained some traction, I made the decision to upload daily Rocket League content on the Pick a Pixel channel, and I would do that for the foreseeable future, which we will get into. And I went from 1,000 subscribers to 10,000. Oh, there's a tickle. I'm making a tickle in my throat. Not good. 1,000 to 10,000 subscribers within a month. It was in the middle of December. I hit 10,000 subscribers, obviously uploading daily. And then on January the 1st, at about 2:30 in the morning, I was actually asleep, because I went to bed on that New Year's Eve at about 11 p.m. because I had to wake up for a shift at McDonald's in the morning. So I was asleep when my channel reached 20,000 subscribers on January the 1st of 2017. I continue to live stream about 5 times a week on the channel with Rocket League content, trading, gameplay, crates, as well as daily uploads. And that just skyrocketed the growth. I reached 50,000 subscribers in February. And I did say way before that happened that if I did reach 50,000 subscribers, I would dye my hair and let the viewers pick the color. And because the item that I got that was so rare in the video that started the growth of my channel, because the color of that item was red, the majority of the people said that I should have dyed my hair red. I was hoping everyone would vote blue because I thought that would have looked cooler, would have made my eyes pop. But I dyed my hair dark red as voted by everyone. And then at the end of February 2017, on 66,000 subscribers, I left my job at McDonald's. So I'm fortunate enough to have only had to have worked that job and any other job in my adult life for 6 months, August 2016 to February 2017. And I left McDonald's and became a full-time YouTuber, and to this day, that is still my career and the only job that I've had. But here's the thing, I did take an absolutely massive risk. And essentially, I made about £4,000 at McDonald's in those 6 months. I know that's next to nothing, but I was earning £6 an hour, which is below the minimum wage for an adult, I'm pretty sure nowadays. But yeah, £6 an hour, that's absolutely unreal. But I spent every single penny I earned at McDonald's. I didn't save a single thing, which I was supposed to do in that gap year, but I spent every single penny on Rocket League and making videos, and I'm so glad I did, because it led me to where I am today. And without that investment, essentially, because that's what it was, an investment of time, an investment of money, and had it not worked out, a big investment of my entire gap year, all in all for nothing. So I'm very, very glad I did that. And obviously, so I said I'd reach 50,000 in February, and then 66,000 still in February by the time I'd left McDonald's. And then by the end of March, before my 19th birthday, I reached 100,000 subscribers, which was my YouTube dream, because you get obviously the YouTube subscriber plaque when you reach that. And I do actually have 2 of those subscriber plaques. They're currently in storage because I'm moving very, very soon. But yeah, I achieved my dream 100,000 subscribers in March, and it was at this stage that I was still uploading daily, of course, and it was at this stage that I managed to get my first sponsor. 2 sponsors came very, very quickly. One called GamerLink, which was an app. It was a really good app, still is a good app, and they're great people over there. And I remember the figure they gave me, like the money that they said they'd pay me, it's not as much like as I make now. I'm gonna, some people get really weird when people talk about money, but you guys know what I'm talking about on this podcast. I'm not going to say numbers, but I'm also not going to shy away from speaking about that sort of thing. If you're listening like 14 plus minutes into a podcast of me talking, you're probably the kind of person that understands that sometimes it just comes up. But so it wasn't as much as I make now, like not even close, not even half of what I make now, but they offered me this amount per month, and I was like, wow, it's real. The dream is real, because up until the sponsorships came in, I was essentially making all my money from ad revenue, which is not great. It's not reliable, and it definitely fluctuates up and down quite a lot. And so I was still making a little bit more, I was still making more ad revenue than I would have done working at McDonald's, but I was getting paid nothing at McDonald's, so there's no surprise there. But then when this sponsorship came in as a consistent, I think for me, guaranteed form and stream of income, that's when it really hit me. I remember going downstairs and telling my parents, and they were baffled, absolutely baffled, because one thing, my parents, I'm not going to say they were the kind of parents that were like, you need a real job, you need to stop following your dreams and everything like that. They never said that. They've always been unbelievably supportive. But one thing I do always remember my dad saying to me was, I don't think it's possible, but prove me wrong. And in a way, that's about as supportive as it gets. And my parents, I've had the perfect upbringing. I wouldn't change a thing. And I feel like that's reflected in who I am and how I carry myself. But they didn't discourage me. And if anything, my dad motivated me, because he didn't see what I saw. And it made me want to prove it to him. Not to prove him wrong, because I know he believed in me, but he didn't understand how it could be done. So he asked me to prove him wrong. And I did. And I still am to this day. I think in the same way that I've got used to it, I definitely think they've got used to it, my family, my friends. And it's only when I speak to them about the situation I'm actually in, and when I articulate what's actually happened, it's only then that I realize how unreal this situation is and how blessed I truly am. But anyway, we got to 100,000 subscribers. We had all the sponsors, all that stuff. And then in July 2017, I had my most successful days on YouTube ever. It was a new Rocket League update. I did a live stream. It's the most subscribers I've ever gained in one day. And it was about 7,800 new subscribers in one day. And me, was trending #1 worldwide in gaming on YouTube, which is absolutely insane. And very swiftly after that, at the beginning of the August, I reached 200,000 subscribers and again secured another sponsorship contract. And as far as, money in proportion goes, it's still not as much as I make now from sponsors, but it's way closer than that first contract that I spoke about. And it was when I got this contract and I told my parents, they said, "Do you even need to go to university?" And I was due to leave the next month. And the only reason I hadn't decided to not go to university sooner is because I was a little bit worried about what my parents would think. Because obviously your parents want you to succeed, and traditionally people go to university and they succeed, and it is good to have a degree. So I didn't want to say I'm not going to go to university. I didn't want to do that prematurely. But then as soon as my mum saw the sponsorship contract, that was at the time only a 6-month contract, a set amount per month for 6 months, and as soon as her instant reaction was, "Do you need to go to university?" that gave me, almost gave me the validation in what I already knew to say, I really don't. Because I was going to study film and cinematography, because when I applied to university, it was back in 2015, so I was still on my Far From Film channel. Pick a Pixel hadn't been created. I enjoyed making film. I enjoyed working with cameras. And I had just outgrown that direction a little bit. And also, it's very unlikely I'd go and get that degree. I would have had that degree, I would have started then and would have ended up getting my degree this summer if I did go to uni, even though the coronavirus means that I probably wouldn't get a graduation ceremony, but I'd be getting the degree from the course that I elected to not go to back then in a couple of months' time. And I wouldn't have been able to come out of uni with that degree and earn as much as I earn now, for instance, with that, which obviously is a huge thing as an adult. You need to make money. But also, as well as that, way more important than the money is, what job could I possibly do out of uni to do with film and cinematography that I enjoy as much as my job now? And the fact is, I've been doing it full time for 3 years and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere, because views aren't everything. I know my views are kind of down, but it's weird how despite that and despite how unstable YouTube ad revenue is and everything is like that, the business model that I have set up has stood firm, so stable for years. I just don't think, other than the social aspect and experiences I might have got, and definitely new skills I would have learned, no doubt, university wasn't the right thing for me at that time. And maybe I will go one day, because I've always said that I kind of wanted to be a primary school teacher once I was old enough to actually want a proper job and not want to be an ice cream man, which is funny. And you need a degree to, teach and everything like that. And, I just knocked the mic. And the way I looked at it was, university will always be there and YouTube might not. I wanted to take and grasp the opportunity that I had, and I did. So I didn't go to university, which is probably one of the best decisions that I ever made. Not knocking on uni, but I am where I am now, and it's great. And then I had to stop my daily streak of uploads from November 2016 in the following October, because my PC broke. It stood really strong. It's the PC I'm still using now. So it wasn't totally fried or anything. It's just something in it broke. Once I got it fixed and the computer was back here, I started getting really into Fortnite because I'd actually been contacted by Epic Games before Fortnite came out. If you don't know, Fortnite was, for a long time, probably still is one of the biggest games in the world. The damage is done on my throat. I can't speak for long periods of time anymore. But yeah, I started uploading Fortnite videos to the main channel. And then in early 2018, Fortnite took over my channel. I got about 50,000 subscribers from Fortnite overall, and to this day, the Fortnite videos are still my most popular videos of all time. I did only 1 or 2 Rocket League videos a week for a few months, and this was also the same time that I started the Matt and Max podcast channel with my friend Max. We did 10 episodes of that. They're still on YouTube. You can go and watch them now. I need to go back and watch them and see how I handled my throat. Because I suppose because I was doing the podcast with Max, I wasn't talking 100% of the time. I could drink when I wanted, and I wasn't straining my voice for so long. But yeah, I'm really struggling with my throat, but I'll get there. It's just a chill podcast, you guys understand. And that was really fun as well. And that also was one of my inspirations to start this podcast here. And then in May 2018, Rocket League came back. Views on those videos weren't as high as the Rocket League glory days before I transitioned to Fortnite for a while, but still, I enjoyed it. I was uploading more Rocket League, but then in August 2018, I got banned forever. Permanently banned on Rocket League. The game that made me, gave me everything I had, I got banned because of an issue with the sponsor that I had at the time. And the sponsor I still have to this day. I sorted it out. It was just a few little technicalities that I had to change. I had to legally specify certain things. Basically, as long as I said my sponsor was not affiliated with Rocket League, there's nothing legally that Rocket League could have done. It was at this time that I found myself getting really into football as well, because of the World Cup in 2018, England actually doing fairly well. And I made a football channel because, again, you know me, I love making channels. I made a football channel called The Full 90, and up until very recently, when this has become a focus of mine and coronavirus has actually stopped all football, so I've stopped uploading on my football channel for the foreseeable future. But for the last year and a half, my 2 main focuses have been my main channel, Pick a Pixel on YouTube, and my football channel, The Full 90. I basically did football-related content, primarily predicting the results and outcomes of mostly the Premier League, the Champions League, UEFA competitions, all that stuff, and doing some football discussions as well. And currently to this day, that channel has over 8,000 organic subscribers. I think maybe about 500 came from Pick a Pixel when I announced it at the very beginning, but the other 7,000 or so all came from just organic football fans finding the channel, which is super duper cool. Then in January 2019, I moved my setup to the new apartment that I was living in at the time, but the internet there wasn't really that good. It was terrible, in fact. And the main reason I was still able to upload Fortnite videos is because I had such good internet that I could upload relevant Fortnite content quickly before everyone else, and that's what got a lot of views on the content. But because the internet was so slow, I couldn't upload the content quickly anymore, which kind of made it not as relevant, enjoyable to make. So Fortnite left the channel, this channel, January 2019, and I made consistent Rocket League in early 2019. It was ticking over nicely. It was fun. But at this point, my personal life really took a toll on me. I'm going to try and see out the rest of the podcast. Sorry about this. I just don't want to get a tickly throat because once, I know in the past I've done it where once I've strained my voice through recording and being in video mode, particularly with live streams where I live stream for hours and podcast the same non-stop talking for nearly an hour, it could then get worse the next day or two, and I don't want to compromise my immune system, particularly around my throat. So there's that. Essentially, I was in a really, really dark place, not in the best relationship. I felt very, very lonely, very isolated, and that is the one negative of YouTube as a job, as a career, is that you could potentially not see or talk to anyone for a week. You know, at the time, although it wasn't a great situation, at least I did have my ex-girlfriend for human company, because there were days on end, multiple days on end, where I didn't have to leave the apartment that I was in. So I didn't speak to anyone, I didn't see anyone, And I really struggled. I really did struggle with... the only reason I'm struggling now is because I'm trying not to stress out my throat. I don't feel lonely now, which is fantastic. But yeah, I ran into some tax issues because I was led to believe one thing, and then turns out that's not the case. I was led to believe I could pay a certain amount by a certain time, and then a certain amount by a certain time. So I was like, okay, I'll just budget for that. And then I then got told, no, you have to pay all of this now. So I had to hand them a huge sum of money at one time. And that was the first time and only time I've ever stressed about money in my life, because I had to essentially hand over like about 80% of my savings at the time, which was very scary. I still had savings because 80% is not 100%, but all of a sudden I was like, whoa, I'm out here paying all these bills, all this stuff, and now all my savings are gone, and it's like, what is going on? But yeah, so I don't need to talk too much about the relationship. I will probably mention it maybe in a future podcast. I'll do a relationship advice / sort of Q&A sort of thing. But my relationship had to end. Basically, my partner cheated on me, and I couldn't stay with her after that. She wanted to try and make things work, but I couldn't trust her, so I had to leave. And that was a turning point for my personal life, because you can take that from one of two ways. You can then lock yourself away from the rest of the world and do nothing, or you can choose to use a bad situation for good. And fortunately, that's what I did. I've been daily uploading since that incident happened. It was 6 months ago now. I've lost 65 pounds in weight since then, and I've been uploading daily on YouTube, and I've been really, really enjoying it. And yeah, views aren't massively high, but I enjoy the content I make. I have this creative outlet. I have my football channel. I have my new absolute passion for fitness. I cannot explain how much of a passion fitness is for me, but there's not a lot as far as YouTube story goes in the last few months. I've gone up about, I don't know, probably about 10,000 subscribers in the last 6 months, something like that. And it's just been consistently just under or just above 1 million views a month. So there's not a lot in terms of development of the YouTube story over the past 6 months. It's just been ticking over like a normal job. And the main progression has come from, one, my football channel, that's been big, but mostly for me physically and mentally. So that is my YouTube story. It was long. I'm going to have another sip of water. I wish my throat held up. It's annoying. I wish my throat held up for the whole of the podcast. I'll get better at that. I think I'm actually going to properly look into, like, I'll Google, tips for speaking for long periods of time and everything like that, because I really want to do this, and I think it is just me accepting that I'll have to do it like this. I could speak like this, and if I put the mic here, yeah, I think if I put the mic right here, for instance, and then didn't raise my voice too loudly, I'd be fine. But I'm so used to video mode, I speak from here, away from the mic, and I project, which strains me. Whereas if in the future I put the mic here, I speak like this, almost like ASMR. I think that's probably it. I think I'm just putting way too much strain by speaking too loud in these podcasts. So I think I can just relax, because this isn't really hurting my throat at all. And this is with a throat that's in pain. So once I start a podcast, if I start like this and then keep going, I think it would be relatively easy. So I think that's probably what I'm going to try and do for podcast number 3. I had a lot of fun making this one. Look, you can see the redness in my face appears to have gone down because I've kind of got over it. And that's what I was speaking about. If you watch this far in the video, what should I say? I would say include the word Pixel Riff, which is my first gaming channel with the alias Pixel in it. PixelRiff. Include Pixel Riff in your comment. But basically, that is the story of... It's a very abridged story. There were, like I said, tons of channels I didn't even mention, tons of ventures, tons of videos that I didn't mention. I could have gone way more in depth on the Far From Film channel, but the record of that is up here. I could have gone way more in depth on the Pick a Pixel channel. There was so much more I could have covered. I mean, I've done about 1,300 videos on that channel, so to talk about... I probably talked about Pick a Pixel for maybe 20 minutes, So that doesn't do it justice, but I didn't want this to be an absolute mammoth of a video. But yeah, that's my basic YouTube story. It started out just a young kid uploading whatever he wanted, doing magic tricks, vlogs, and then in 2013, that's when I first tried to start gaming. I think maybe 2012. I can't even remember the channel. I remember I did a walkthrough to the game Paranoiac, but I can't remember the name of the channel that I did it on. But yeah, I wanted to do gaming videos for a long time, and it got to the point where, despite vlogging being my main sort of job on YouTube with my main channel, I quit that completely to do gaming, a passion, with no subscribers, and here it led me to being a full-time YouTuber. So that is going to do it for this podcast. I don't know how long it turned out. There's going to be a few cuts in it because you probably saw that I'm doing it again. There we go, just breathe. But yeah, you probably saw that I was struggling a little bit throughout this podcast because it's almost like the only way I can describe it so that you might understand, because you might not have had to speak for too long. Let's say you have to run a marathon and you're a good runner. I'm a good speaker. I'm good at making videos. Let's say you have to run a marathon, you're a good runner. Instead of jogging the marathon for 26 miles and feeling great, I sprinted the first 10 miles and had to trudge the last 16. That's what I had to do. So any questions, any comments you have, leave them down below. I'll read them all, of course, and they will help me inspire the next podcast, which I'll record in 1 or 2 days and upload on the channel for you all. So I hope you've enjoyed. Leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.